All right. Well, here we are.
All right.
Again.
Yes, again. So we gonna be 1, 2, 3 and go, or
Yeah.
Okay.
Just go for it.
Hello, welcome again. We're going to be discussing how to use Uber and rideshare apps when you're blind by way of a smartphone with a screen reader, right, Sean?
Right. So we're going to be talking about how to use the iPhone and with VoiceOver to schedule an Uber ride and some of the little ins and outs of that, how that all works.
Best practices, some things that we've learned along the way, some tricks and tips to help improve your experience with Uber or rideshare.
So let's talk a little bit about there are multiple ways to schedule an Uber. You can use Uber or Lyft. They're both ride sharing services. However, today we're going to mainly focus on Uber. And then, just as a side note, we also do want to mention that there's a feature there's a service out there that we may do another tutorial on. It's called Go Grandpa, and it's basically a hands-free, smartphone-free way to access Uber.
Yes, I think if I'm not mistaken, you can use a corded landline phone.
Corded
to
phone,
access
flip phone.
flip phone.
Yeah, you don't have to have a smartphone to access Uber. You can call an operator and they'll.
Yeah, that's one way, and there are other ways as well that are even hands-free. I think Siri is an option.
Yeah, we can use Siri to set up our ride, request it, pick the kind of ride you want. And then we can also use Alexa. That's another way to do this as well. So.
Yeah, but today we'll be mainly focusing on how to access Uber with VoiceOver.
So let me pull the app up, and I actually took a ride this morning. So let me let's talk about ratings real quick here, because that's where I'm at. Turn my
speaking rate 60%, 50%, 45%.
Turn things up here and get everything squared away. So the neat thing about Uber, really about any rideshare service, is that you can rate the driver after your ride, and the driver can rate you as well. So
2, 3 stars.
Always want to be on good behavior in a ride, just because you don't want to get a 2 or a 3. If you rate a driver a 2 or a 3, it means you won't get matched with that person.
With that driver again, yeah.
And if they've matched you probably a 3 or below, it means they won't get matched with you. So
yeah.
I don't think we have to worry about that.
Right.
5 stars. Selected. Done. But done.
So
Menu. Button.
I just rated my last ride, and I'm once again here at the main screen. So, really with any app, whether it be rideshare, grocery delivery, maybe through Instacart, food delivery, which that could be a whole topic in itself, there's going to be a sign-up process. So it's been a while since I signed up for Uber, but I believe that with the Uber app, it asks for your phone number. It'll send you a verification code. You set a password, and then you get into the menu so you can add a credit card. That is another great thing about Uber, is there's no money.
No exchange of cash.
Right.
It's all digital.
So when you're done with your ride, your card's charged. There's no cash involved. So yeah, there's a setup process. If you need help with that, give us a call here at the Lighthouse. We'll be glad to walk you through
Certainly.
setting up your first Uber account.
Uber Cash. Bell. Order now. Button.
So and just to mention here, my screen may look a little different from yours. It really depends. I've seen Uber screens different by phone. So maybe an iPhone 8 or an 8 Plus may have a different layout to the screen than I have an iPhone 11 here. So, and Uber's always adding new features. Here in my app, there's a new Uber grocery delivery. It's not available in Dallas-Fort Worth area yet, but I'm kind of curious to see what that's about. Along with, you can order food through Uber Eats, so that's also listed here as well. So let's get down here to
Try local favorites. Suggested around you.
let me
Uber
find.
cat. Order now. Button. Try local suggested as
So I can request a ride.
destination.
There's a ride button, and there's also your most recent destinations listed. So sometimes you can totally bypass the ride button and just pick where you want to go.
Yeah.
And that's what I did here. I picked the restaurant that I've gone to quite a bit. It's called El Tejas. And so I have the ride screen up here. We'll kind of take a look at it.
Back. Button. Destination. Tejas. Double tap to edit destination.
There's my destination. The neat thing about the destination field is when you open that up, you can type in a partial name of a restaurant, partial name of a destination. You could type something like 121 space MA, and then it'll pop up with suggestions based on the city. It may think, oh, he's looking for 121 Main Street or 121 North Main Street. So there's multiple ways of entering the destination where you want to go. Once you populate that,
ETA. 7 minutes. Pickup. Work.
so it has my pickup already set as work. If that was incorrect, I could also edit this field, change my pickup location. You might, who knows, you might want to have it go pick up a friend of yours, which you can do as well. You can put in another address, not where you're
add
at.
a stop, I believe, is an option that's located in there on that screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to make a pit stop along the way.
Right. So, once your pickup location is where you're at, it gives you an ETA. So right here it says ETA 7 minutes.
Showing recommended product list. Swipe up to get the full products list.
And now here's where we pick the kind of ride we want to take, and it also shows me the price of that ride. So let's go down here.
Ride pass on. Selected. UberX. Fare $10.49. Discounted from $10.61. Estimated time to destination 10:54 a.m. Capacity 3 people. Button.
So UberX is the most common one I use. It's just a regular, standard size vehicle, sedan usually. You can take 3 people in an UberX. If you need more seats, they have
Uber XL. Fare $19.80. Discounted.
So they have Uber XL, which is usually more like an SUV, a van with up to 6 seats. It is also more expensive. So sometimes,
I'm an Uber X guy myself.
yeah, me too. Sometimes if you do need more seats, you can gamble and just request an Uber X, and sometimes you'll end up getting a Uber XL, but that's pretty random. So we pick one of these.
Selected. UberX.
I have UberX selected already, so I'll go to the next screen. So if I go to the very bottom,
Schedule a confirm UberX. Button.
I have two buttons down there. The very bottom of the screen is schedule a ride. You can schedule a ride in advance. I think you've done that before, right, Kevin?
I have, yeah. That's certainly an option. So it maybe there's somewhere that you want to go the next day. Perhaps for example, maybe you want to go to the airport. You have a flight to catch, and you don't want to gamble in the morning and hope that there's somebody available who can pick you up and get you there on time to the airport. Because maybe it's you're going to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning. You're going to schedule a pickup. I think there's a window, 15 minutes or so, when they can come get you. But you can schedule that in advance, date and time, and get that locked in. In fact, they even send you a confirmation email or notification that you have scheduled that.
Very good. So I'm on the confirm UberX button. I'm going to press that.
Confirm pickup location screen. Back button.
And again, it'll have you confirm where you're getting picked up from. It just wants to make sure that where you are versus the address they have via your GPS on your phone is right.
Confirm your pickup spot. Heading. Selected pickup location. 912 W Broadway Ave, Fort Worth. TX 76104. USA near work. Button.
Ah, so there we are. It's got our pickup location. We'll go down.
Search. Confirm pickup. Button.
Now there is a search button there just in case your address is not showing up right. Sometimes, depending on, like, we're here at the lighthouse. We're in a large building. You might be in the back of the building when you schedule your ride, so it might pick up the wrong address. It does happen. We do confirm ride.
Back button.
And there's one last screen that's kind of become a little important here recently.
A face cover or mask is required on every ride.
So they do, ask that you wear a face mask on your ride.
I even had a gentleman recently. He actually had a plastic cover separating.
Oh, really?
The back.
That's creative.
Yeah, the back, passenger seat from the driver's seat. So it was a plastic covering plus the face mask. So yeah, pretty thorough.
Yeah.
In some cases.
Right.
Yeah.
Confirm and ride. Button.
And then the bottom button in this screen is confirm and ride. If I were to hit that now, it would start looking for a driver. It would also tell me once it found a driver, it'd show how far away he was, the kind of vehicle, his name, his rating, and his license plate number. So a lot of information there.
Yeah, make and model of the car.
Yeah. Might be good practice when your ride pulls up and you open the door to ask the driver's name. He may ask your name just to make sure you are who you are, and he is who he is.
There is an option on that screen too. It says contact driver, and it'll give you an option of either calling the driver or messaging the driver. So it's not uncommon for me anyway to text them and just say, hey, I'm blind and I'm standing in front of this building, this location, so that they know what to look for. And usually that works out pretty well because they'll drive up next to me and they'll say Kevin, and I'll say whomever. And Jack, Bob,
Whatever.
Tina, whomever, and then get in the vehicle.
Speech off.
And it's pretty efficient overall. I also like the fact that you can look at the ETA. You can monitor that. And I said 7 minutes earlier on Sean's app, but you can continue going back to that same screen, and it'll update. It'll go from 7 to 5 to 3 to 2, and then you'll get a notification on your phone that it will say your driver has arrived.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what's really neat about that ETA screen. When I requested my ride this morning, it was originally 15 minutes, but it also said completing a trip nearby. And so that just lets me know that, hey, the driver's coming, but he's also on another trip right now, and it's possible that trip's going to end, somewhere in your area. So basically, and that's, and that happens quite a bit down here around the lighthouse, is that you'll get a ride and it'll say completing a trip nearby, and then it'll even say completed, and then boom, he's on his way to you. So that's pretty handy.
Yeah, it certainly is. Yes, yeah, and we've found, at least I've found, a lot of the drivers are very helpful, and they have a lot of interaction with people who are blind, because a lot of folks like us are frequenting Uber. Why not? It's pretty remarkable that we have in this day and age almost instant transportation at our fingertips, when you and I used to live in a time, kind of dating ourselves here,
taking taxis
and paratransit, and having to ask others for rides. And
I was actually thinking about that when you were talking about the driver that had the little barrier. I took a taxi one time, and it was an old taxi from up north. Actually had this plastic barrier between me and the driver in the front seat, and there was actually this little door that you could open where you put your cash in, where he could reach up and get it on his side.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
that's
never
very
seen a taxi
creative.
like that before, but he's
Very
like,
creative.
yeah, these are really common up in New York City and that kind of thing.
Wow.
So I closed out the ride screen, and I just kind of want to walk through a little bit of the menu. In the top left corner of the screen, there's a button that says Menu, and it gets you into kind of the settings screen. And one of the first things on this screen is that profile, that rating we were talking about earlier. So looking at mine right now, it's 4.97 out of 5. Kind of makes me wonder what happened. Why did I get a 4.9? You know, but it could be anything.
The things that keep you up at night, right?
Yeah, and things that make you go, So yeah, there's a couple things in here. There's a messages screen. There's do more with your account. Get food delivered. So yeah, we could definitely talk about how much food we've gotten delivered through Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Well, let me get down here to one of the choices in here is wallet. So wallet, you can go in there and add a credit card. You can also add other payment sources such as PayPal, Venmo. You can even use Apple Pay, or you can enter a code. So sometimes when you sign up for Uber, a friend may refer you. They may send you their invite code, and that just means that both of y'all get kind of a little starting bonus,
Kickback,
little credit,
yeah.
$10 credit or so.
That's your next ride.
So you can enter those. Occasionally there'll be promo codes that are sent out. You can use those in there. I got one just last night. That was 10% off your next 5 rides or whatever. So
Yeah, nice. And you already doing the flat fare.
Yeah,
feature
so
on
that's
it,
where I
aren't
was going next. Uber Rewards is, well, there's 2 things here. So we got Uber Rewards. It's kind of like a frequent flyer program, like a mileage program for Uber. And you earn points according to how many rides what kind of rides you take. You get points from ordering food from Uber Eats. And those just kind of build up over time. So, funny story, when they first started the Uber Rewards program about 2 years ago, they based where you start off your last 6 months of riding. So I think the levels are like the blue level, which is a beginner, and then bronze, silver, bronze, and diamond. So based off the previous 6 months, I went from nothing to platinum, or like the 3rd level. But I've never managed to make it to diamond. I keep trying, but I can't get to diamond.
Well,
and you get different little perks in there. So you might, 10% off your next ride.
In fact, I used a perk recently. It was 15% off because my Uber reward had built up, and it had the option of you could get a discount off of your next Uber Eats or a discount off of Uber X or eligible ride. So I chose the Uber X and got a little bit of a further discount, which is always good. And one thing to keep in mind, everyone, in life, we all have those things called birthdays, and we have Christmas and other holidays, and people sometimes ask me, well, Kevin, what do you want for your birthday, or what do you want for Christmas? And inevitably, what I will say is, I will say an Uber gift card. Yes, please, because you can come across them fairly easily. They're available at many stores, right?
Right. Of course, you can order them online.
Order them online. Thank you. Yes, order them online, and there's a promo code on there that you enter into your
wallet.
app, your wallet, and then that gives you a $25 credit or a $50 credit. And so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, real handy there.
Real handy.
The next option down on this menu is Ride Pass, and this is in select areas. It is available in Dallas-Fort Worth area. And so the neat thing about Ride Pass is it gives you a flat rate on a location you may go to frequently. So Lighthouse, of course, where I come frequently, and like a normal ride home would be about $12, $13, but with Ride Pass it's $8.99. So you get a flat ride to and from. I get the $8.99 either coming from home to here.
And that takes a little bit of the sting out of it.
It does.
Obviously, right?
And then you also get, and this is a monthly service, so you pay, I think it's $25 a month.
Yes.
But you also get like 15% off all your other rides. So earlier you might have heard it say discounted from blah, blah, blah. So it does discount other rides you take. And then the next option here is just what Kevin was talking about. You can send a gift. So remember, it's like Christmas.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Send a gift, right? Yeah, send a gift. That's true. You can do it through the app as well.
Do it through the app.
Yeah. Very good. Well, Sean, you know, Christmas is coming up for me
It
pretty
is.
soon. Yeah. So just wink, wink.
And if you're sighted, you can even choose to become a driver here in the menu. So
Certainly.
yeah, couple of things there. Uber's a really handy app. Let's see if we can think of some questions people might.
Well, one thing, you know, it's not so much a question, but it's really more of just a user experience. As somebody being blind, there's sometimes the Uber GPS is a little inaccurate or a little wonky even, and I've found by trial and error that the driver will drop you off at a location, and the location it's in the ballpark from of where you want to be, but it's not exactly, and you'll get out and you'll have a moment of, oh my gosh, where am I? It's not where I thought I was at. Case in point, I've been dropped off a couple of times at my home, and the GPS will have directed them to the house two houses down from mine, and I'll get out and I'll walk up to the driveway and I'll start scratching my head thinking I don't have potted plants in front of my on my porch, in front of my porch, and then I realize, oh my gosh, I'm in the wrong house and I'm trying to put my key in the door, and so that's always makes for a good story afterward. But the long and short of that is, you know, you want to maybe confirm with the driver before you get out of the vehicle, hey, you know, is this landmark here, or is there a particular car in the driveway?
Yeah, or if you know where you're going, like this morning pulling up here, I always tell the drivers, you know, drop me off at the glass doors, because there's a couple entrances, and
True.
if you know where you're going, especially if it's a business, you know, drop me off under the portico, or you know, something like that. That can help.
Be specific when in doubt.
I've actually gotten to where when I pull into my apartments, and like I know the bump in the parking lot,
Right.
And then we hit that bump. I'm like, oh, right here.
Yes.
So
one other suggestion is before you get out of the vehicle, ask the driver, is there anything in the seat? Because you know what happens so often in life, this happens to people who are blind and people who can see, is things get left behind in the seat. You know, it could be a wallet, it could be a phone, or some other item, or keys even. I mean, we've all been there, right?
Right.
So I always ask the driver, am I good in the seat? Did I leave anything behind? And of course, they'll always give me yay or nay. And it's a good practice to get into, because it's always a sinking feeling when you
forget
get out,
your phone.
When you get out and you realize, oh my gosh, I've left this behind. And
We depend on our phones so much these days too. I mean, it's like leaving your keys. In some cases it could be.
yeah, this is our lifeline for better or worse. Yeah, but those are just some helpful suggestions for you to consider. You know, there's always going to be some, no pun intended, some bumps in the road,
Right.
With Uber. You know, and maybe you'll have an experience or two that could be challenging. However,
and that could be the rating system too.
yes, that could be the rating system.
Yeah.
But I think overall, my experiences have been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, certainly it has changed. In some ways, changed my life, as I mentioned earlier about the other transportation services. It used to be that, you know, it was hard to be spontaneous when you were blind, not being able to drive. And now with Uber, you know, and other ride shares, you have that ability to be spontaneous, where you can say, hey, I want to go to a restaurant. And you can go to a restaurant. You can have a ride at your door within 10 minutes, right?
Yeah. They even, here in Dallas-Fort Worth, they've added a type of Uber called Uber Connect.
Mm-hmm.
And basically all it's for is if you want to deliver something to your friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
So the car pulls up, you open the trunk, you put your item in there, and they take it to your friend's house, and your friend goes out and opens the trunk and takes it out. I call it Uber Connect.
That's really cool. And another aside, and there are a lot of rabbit trails to go down, but one other suggestion is if you're with somebody, like let's say Sean and I want to go out to lunch to a particular restaurant, we could split the fare.
Right.
Yeah, and that would maybe normally that fare would be $10 one way, and then suddenly now it's $5.
Another good tip in there too, as well as once you book a ride and you get a driver, you just double tap or touch down there at the bottom where the driver's name, and this menu opens up to where you can split fares. You can also share your trip status. So, say you got somebody that's worried about you going out by yourself, or just wants to make sure you're okay or you're getting to your location correctly. You can share your trip with someone else, and it sends them a link. They click on the link, and there's a little map that pops up, and it shows where you're at,
progress,
and
yeah.
You
I
can
did
see
not
your
know
progress.
that. Yeah, that's it. That's really cool. So, but I hope those things have been helpful, those suggestions. And if anyone out there, as you're listening to this and you have more questions and you want to dig a little deeper, you can contact us at the Lighthouse for the Blind
at 817-332-3341. You can also visit us on the web at lighthousefw.org. It's our website. Lists all of our events, has our link to our videos, to our YouTube channel, and everything. Do like us on Facebook. It's Lighthouse FW, Twitter, and Instagram. Those are all good places to keep track of what we're doing. We do also send out monthly emails with different items that we're doing. But yes, please, if you have questions, you need help, do give us a call. We're here to help.
We're here to be a resource. All right, y'all, stay healthy and safe out there, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.